Hello everyone. If you're new here, I'm Erin, owner of the Studio Candle Company, and I make videos all about our product line and candle making. So I wanted to show you today another common problem when you're making your soy wax candles. The temperature in this room when I was letting these cool was way too cold because obviously I have all this curdling and bubbling and dipping on the tops of these candles. So what happens is if you pour it too hot and then your room is too cold, it cools down way too quickly, and the tops cool down and the bottoms cool down faster than the center. So then as the center's cooling, it pulls all that wax down and makes all these divots and weird shapes and stuff. And that's just usually because of the temperature, sometimes the humidity, but it is not humid right now. So I'm pretty sure it's just my temperature. I had moved these over to cool on this concrete, and previously I had them cooling over here on my wooden countertop. And so obviously the wood holds the heat better than the concrete does. And I think they just cooled very unevenly, obviously. These ones are my firewood candle, and they have like a lot of oil in these ones. These ones only divoted a little, and I did the same thing. I had moved them to this countertop trying to make space and crank a couple out a little quicker, but obviously that did not work out well for me. So I'm going to cool them on my wood countertop from now on, or figure out the temperature in the room maybe. But that is something that can happen, especially with soy wax. It just curdles like that. So the way we fix that, see, these ones I already have heated again. So I have this heat gun here. It's just one of the Wagner heat guns. It's got 2 temperature settings. You can buy fancier ones, but for this purpose, this is what I got. And I have tried a hairdryer. It tends to blow way too hard, and then your wax splatters everywhere. So heat gun for the win here. So we'll take like this one here in the middle, and you'll be able to see this wax will melt the whole top layer and fill in those holes. And then when it hardens, it should be a smooth top again. So quick fix that you don't have to trash all your candles or re-pour anything. If it's really, really bad all the way through and it's not adhering to the wick or the jar, I would maybe recommend putting these in like a hot water bath and letting the wax completely melt all the way through. And then you don't have to re-pour it or waste that jar either. But for this purpose, it's just the tops. I checked the sides and they adhered fine. So we're just gonna use the heat gun on the tops of these. So we'll watch that. It goes real fast. And I try to do it straight down from the top so that it heats equally. And you can see how quickly that melts. And all that wax right there, I'll go for quite a while so that I make sure it's heated all the way down through those holes. And you'll see maybe the holes get bigger for a minute. And then all this melted cooled wax will sink down into those cracks. And then when it hardens, the top will be smooth. So I'm just trying to get it super warm so that it cools down in. See those air bubbles coming out in the corners? So I'm just going to keep heating it until those come out, because obviously otherwise they're just going to harden in there and I'll still have holes in air bubbles. So this one was one of the worst ones, and this is how quick it goes. So there's the air bubbles popping. It's heated it down quite a bit, maybe half an inch already. And you can see that the wick is getting loose at the top because they're wax coated wicks. So obviously this is melting the wax on the wicks. I will go through and just trim those tops. I knew when I took them out yesterday, I cut the wicks extra long yesterday so that I could go back and retrim them once this heat gun mushed the top of the wick. So they'll still look nice. I just gotta let it harden, and then I will go back through and just trim the tips of these wicks. And then, theoretically, they should be nice and smooth. My temperature is a little cool in here today, but I cranked it up a couple seconds when I got here. And you can see these ones already are hardening much smoother. They looked like that, and now they don't. So when they harden, they should be completely smooth. So quick fix here for just the bubbling and divoting and crappy looking tops. If you guys have any questions, I'll link the heat gun that I use in the description. But if you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I will get around to answering them. We'll let these things harden and they should be great and ready to package. Hey you guys, so I'm back. They have fully cured now. They've hardened and they're looking way better than they were before. Obviously the curdling is gone and these are now sellable. I need to go through and trim the wicks still, but you can tell the before and after. This is a smooth top candle and it was awful before. So obviously the heat gun method works really well if you need a quick fix just for the tops. And that's what they look like after. So if you have any other questions, let me know, but they're fixed for the most part. And I'm gonna go through and trim the wicks and cap them and label them.